know. I'll try to speak louder. Want to make sure first that everybody's got their stub stapled together in the green barrel up here. If you don't have it in there, you can't get drawn. So make sure it's in the barrel. Want to first go over a couple of rules. I know everybody's familiar with these rules. There's nothing changed over the years, but there may have some folks here that have not. This is your first time at the draw. Must be 16 years of age before you can draw. If you're 16 today, you're eligible. Must have your ticket in the barrel to sign on. If somebody gets drawn, if your ticket's not in the barrel, you cannot sign on. The person drawn can have as many sign-ons as you like. There's no limit. However, the limit is the number of people hunting in the blind. There can only be 8 adults in the blind hunting at one time. No limit on youth under 16. You can have as many as you want there. But only 8 adults, 16 and over, in the blind at one time. Hunters can access Tigrett not before 4 a.m. in the morning, and you have to stop hunting at 3 p.m. each day. The blind sight permittees can spray, if you like, your duck hole or your boat road, and you can cut vegetation, boat road and in front of your blind, with the exception of any oaks or cypress. Cannot cut any of those. Anything cut in your boat hole, boat blind, your boatway, I'll get out in a minute, and in front of your blind cannot be oak or cypress. You can cut maples, willows, and all the button bushes you want to cut. The spray, if you elect to spray smartweed or other vegetation, it has to be wetland approved. The blind has to be built next to the stake. If you need to move it or desire to move it, you need to talk with me first. But only time you can move the blind is with prior approval from the manager. Your blind must be brushed by the 4th Monday in October. Now let me do a disclaimer with that. Most of the blinds right now you can't get to because it's dry. Well, you might can walk to most of them now. But there's a problem of getting materials to it. So the law says the 4th Monday in October you must have it brushed. We'll look at that time. Those that are not brushed, there's probably a reason. So if you can't get your blind brushed by that date, give me a call and we'll give you an extension. And it'll be, just can't get to it. And I understand that. We're pretty liberal with that. Then if you want materials from your blind, you have until May 1st to remove all materials there. After that, they become property of the state. For you folks that don't get drawn or may be hunting temporarily in a temporary blind, you can hunt anywhere on Tigrett with the outside the range of 200 yards from a permanent blind. You have to be outside 200 yards from any of the 17 permanent blinds. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm going to need some help from some young folks right up here. In just a minute, we're going to let the young folks pull a stub out of the barrel. They'll bring the stub to me. I'll read the name out. At that time, you'll have a few minutes to gather all your sign-ons. Again, there's no limit, but what you will need to do if your name is pulled out, your responsibility is to gather up your stubs from all your sign-ons. So if you would, right now, before we start drawing, reach in your pocket, pull out the stub, and have it ready because we want to move along just as the best we can. So your responsibility is to pick up all the stubs from your sign-ons and bring them up here. When I get them, I'm going to ask you, is this all the sign-ons? As soon as you acknowledge that, I'm going to staple them together. I'm going to staple them together. After the stubs are stapled, You will no more sign-ons after that. You will take them over to the tents and receive your permits. Now listen, when you take it over the tents, here's what you will need. You will need to take everybody with you that's going to sign on, because they will need your hunting license at that point. They will need all the hunting license. And if you would get in a line and let one person sign everybody up that's in one blind. As soon as you get over there, we'll be ready to draw again. So we're going to move this thing along as best we can. Make sure you've got your sign-ons and permits available and ready to go. Okay. All right, we're ready to go. First one. Bring it right over here. First name, John Dawson. John Dawson. I will need your permit, your sign-on, and all your sign-ons. So gather up and bring them right up here. A2. A2.
That's what I thought.
Okay, let's do another one. Okay, second, Zach Little. Zach Little. Collect your sign-ons and bring them up front.